Seasons of love, seasons of love. That was probably misleading because this is a video about Steven Universe. Hi guys, it's Madison, and here on this episode of whatever this is, I'm talking about BISMUTH Discourse. Spoiler alert! If you have not watched Steven Universe on Thursday, August 5th, don't watch this video. I watched the episode, right? Okay. And I was like, that was a really good episode. Very thought-provoking. Very, very good. I found myself like that hit me right in the feelings. And then I got on Tumblr. Yikes. Lots of BISMUTH discourse in the tag. Ooh. So much discourse. And I wanted to kind of weigh in. Ooh. Okay. So basically BISMUTH is a gem. She was a crystal gem back in the war, and she was in Lion's Mane. And I remember a long time ago in when Lion 3 premiered, and I read people were guessing what that bubble gem was, and I saw somebody say it was BISMUTH, and I was like, that'd be so cool if it was, and it is BISMUTH. So BISMUTH came to us when Steven went into Lion's Mane, and he fell. He fell and popped the bubble, and he couldn't, and BISMUTH reformed, and he was like, what the hell? Who the hell? Where you come from? And BISMUTH was like, well, guy, hey, come back, let me out. Where the hell am I? And it was revealed that BISMUTH knew Garnet and Pearl, but not Amethyst. And the way she treated Amethyst, I thought was so sweet. And she was so inclusive. She never met Amethyst, and Amethyst was a little, she was cautious, like she usually is around things that happened before she joined the Crystal Gems. I noticed her behavior was the same, kind of similar to how it was when Sardonyx performed. But, and I immediately, loved BISMUTH. I was like, oh damn, she's so cute. I want 10. I might be a bit biased, but BISMUTH is great. I love her. I love her characterization. She's a deep character. And now, part of the discourse is that people don't like the delivery of the thou shalt not kill arc. They don't like the way that they delivered it. But I'm keeping in mind, this is typically, it's a 15-minute format cartoon. And this was the 30-minute special, and you had to set it up. Now, I'm sure the creators couldn't get much more time. It's not like they had an hour. Now, granted, they probably could have split it up into more episodes, if you think about it that way. But I'm sure they wanted to put it all there because they needed to off BISMUTH until the next time we need to see her. And there wasn't a lot of time to deliver that part very, as some people would say, very appropriately, or very, it was very effective, I believe, because I was blown away. And people keep comparing it to Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I'm like, you can't really compare those two things. I mean, the arc is similar, Aang doesn't want to kill Ozai because of he doesn't want to sacrifice his spirituality. Steven is just a small baby who doesn't want to hurt things. So it's still Steven's personal morals, but and they're both considered children's programming. But Steven's aimed at more younger children, where Avatar was aimed at 12-year-old kids, tweens and teens. Now, at least that's what I gather from watching these two shows because I grew up watching Last Airbender. Like, it was a big thing. And I'm like, stop comparing these two shows. They're nothing alike. I mean, they have their similarities, but a lot of things do. And the other thing is, it's a show for children. And it does so well at explaining a lot of things, but you can't expect everything from it all the time. To continue with the main part of the discourse, later on we find out Bismuth is a blacksmith, and Bismuth, I keep saying business, that was a pretty good pun she kept making. Bismuth created weapons for the crystal gems, and Rose empowered her and made her, realize that she didn't have to do what she was made to do, as she did with probably all of the crystal gems. Bismuth made everybody's, weapons that they didn't already have in them. And then she made upgrades for Pearl and Garnet, and she found something for Amethyst. And so we go and Bismuth shows Steven a weapon she had made. The breaking point. The breaking point is a machine, basically, that shatters gems in a single move. Whereas Rose's sword, Bismuth designed to simply poof gems with. Not murder, just poof. Simple. But the story went, and we find out Bismuth had showed Rose this, and things had gotten heated between them in the forge, and Rose poofed Bismuth, and then didn't tell everybody else, and didn't get rid of the weapon. So here we are with Steven in the forge with Bismuth, and Bismuth shows Steven because Bismuth is aware that Steven is not Rose. But then Steven reacts the same way, not like the same way like his delivery, but he's like, we shouldn't kill homeworld gems because that's stooping to their level. Because that's the way that's like Steven's whole thing. He's like, oh no, let's not hurt anybody, let's not fight, let's be diplomatic and pacifist about it. We'll fight if we have to. So that, not pacifist, but diplomatic. We'll fight you if we have to, but I don't want to kill you. And Bismuth is like, well, we need to get revenge. We need to avenge the crystal gems. We need to liberate homeworld gems. We need to liberate all gems from the tyranny that is the diamonds. And this is understandable because the diamonds, and Bismuth just found out that everybody else is dead. So you can imagine that this fire, she just wakes up after 5,000 years and is like, what the hell happened to everybody? Mass genocide is what happened to everybody. So that obviously, lit the spark within Bismuth, and she was like, oh god, we gotta kill everybody right now. Because you killed all my friends. And Steven's like, I know that you feel that way, but that's not gonna solve anything. It's just gonna get the diamonds out of the way. And how are you gonna, you're gonna shatter your way to the diamonds? Somebody's gonna stop you. And Bismuth, and people keep saying, they're like, oh, there's so many other reasons that they could have said. And Steven could have said more than just, don't do it because that's not what we do. But you gotta keep in mind, Steven's 14. Okay, it's a coming of age story. He's not going to know exactly how to put into words what he's feeling. I still don't even know how to put into words what I'm feeling, and I'm 20. So I feel like it was deliberately done, not to give reasoning like, oh, I talked an entire cluster of gem shards into not forming. He's gonna forget that because he's in the heat of battle. He's trying not to die because Bismuth's got this freaking thing that's gonna shatter people. And I was like, you can't get mad at the delivery because it's within the character. It's not because the staff didn't know how to write that, it's because the character wouldn't have said that. And that's how I feel. Like, that's the main thing with me, is like, it's a character thing, you know? And then Bismuth, on the other hand, I mean, she's angry. And she's been in a bubble for 5,000 years, but she feels like it was just yesterday, and now everything's changed. So there's obviously a culture shock there, and she's still upset because this little guy that's supposed to be Rose, but isn't Rose, is doing the same thing. But then, at the end, Steven validates her. Because she's like, oh, Rose didn't tell anybody that she's the one who bubbled me. She didn't tell them what happened. And they essentially just, she doesn't want to be forgotten. And he stabs her with Rose's sword, with his sword. And right before she can get him with the breaking point, and he goes, I'm gonna tell them everything. She's like, so you're not like her. Because Rose didn't tell anybody. She didn't tell them about the weapon. She didn't tell them about the fight they had. She didn't tell them that she's the one who poofed and bubbled Bismuth. And Steven made up for it. He's doing things the way Rose should have done them. And that's why Steven is such a good character, and he essentially redeems Rose. And I mean, Steven has his own faults, because we all do. But he makes up for where Rose fell short with things he's learned from Greg, things he's learned from his experiences as a human and a gem. And people are torn whether or not they love Bismuth, and like, well, I'm sure that if we had more time with her, Steven could get her to realize, because he treated her differently than Rose did. And so I'm looking more toward the future of Bismuth. I love her. And her rage is somewhat justified. Her wanting to just murder. And it's not like she wanted to kill civilians or anything. She wanted to kill homeworld soldiers. And the Diamonds, who are tyrannical, dictator-like leaders. And we don't know that much about the Diamonds, but from what we've seen of Yellow Diamond and a little bit of Blue Diamond that we saw, they're not exactly the nicest people in the world. Yellow Diamond wanted to hollow out the earth. She wanted to just blow it up. And you can understand where Bismuth's rage is justified. There's a lot of people that want to kill a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. But there's a reason murder is illegal. There's a reason you're not supposed to kill people. So that's why I kind of just don't understand why there's even discourse about it in the first place. But that's just me. And I'm looking forward to episodes in the future. Hopefully we will see Bismuth again. I definitely know that we will. And I'm really excited for the last week of episodes for the Steven nuke. So it's gonna be a good time. Lapis lazuli if I've ever. Leave in the comment who's your favorite gem and how you weigh in on the Bismuth situation. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, tap that like button. And if you want to see more, click the Oscar painting to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching again, and I will see all you beautiful people next time. I have small gold beauty supplies from my Barbies.